right, guys, welcome to another earnings stream. Today, we are going to focus on CrowdStrike and ROST stores. We got a retail store on the right side of my screen, and then we have CrowdStrike. We're looking for numbers there, seeing what revenue gives us on CrowdStrike, and to see kind of what their guidance is going forward. I think CrowdStrike probably would be the bigger one to move, but we shall see. But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Myself is doing the stream today, Mad Maverick. And I am obviously a swing trader in the Discord. So I will be, looking for swing trades overall for the week. But very interested to see how these ones will play out going forward. I mean, do you guys have any preference? What do you guys think CrowdStrike's going to do? Let me know in the chats what you guys think CrowdStrike's going to do. Is it going to dump or is it going to pump? And then we also have, let me make sure it's extended hours is on. We have ROST to the right, which looking at, I mean, CrowdStrike closed up more positive than ROST did, right? We got 1.9% up on CrowdStrike leading into those earnings. And then we have, S&P kind of dumping off at the end of the day after kind of taking all day to recover some, right? So hit that bottom on S&P probably mid-morning, and then we made our way up to a new high of day, and then kind of just lost it at the end of maybe last 15 minutes of the trading day. It kind of just lost all that momentum that it kind of built on throughout the afternoon. So interesting stuff there as well, going into the after hours. Let's take a look at CrowdStrike's estimates. They're going to report at 4:05 p.m. Let me just go in the chat. Let's bring it down to 300. Yeah, I can imagine like if actually CrowdStrike dumps off, it's probably going to be a pretty strong dump, right? I'd imagine probably 10% kind of move because it likes to swing like that on earnings. So we're looking at in 4 minutes, they're going to release earnings. CrowdStrike, their revenue, the estimate side, they're looking for 1.04 billion. EPS, obviously positive 86 cents. So that's the estimates from Wall Street, what they're looking for. And then obviously the guidance will come into playing a big part of what happens to the stock price after these earnings are released. Now, if revenue beats, EPS beats, and guidance, they're strong on guidance too, then I believe this will give us a good pump and maybe some day trades tomorrow. And you can definitely grab those day trades in the Discord and Pennyboy's Discord as well. So the estimate wise, looking for this revenue, this EPS. And then if you look on the right side of my screen here on the earnings, kind of past earnings, they've had mega strong earnings this goes back since 2021, Q3, and you can just see on this bar chart the momentum to the upside in the revenue front. They've been very strong on building on top of every quarter, beating expectations, growing their revenue. So you can see the very strong push there on this bar chart. EPS, let's see what that does. Very strong EPS as well. Beating EPS, it says here EPS beat estimates 17 times in 17 quarters. So it's a very, very strong, fundamentally sound company, CrowdStrike is. And then, yeah, we're going to be looking at these numbers. And it should pop up here. It should actually populate once those numbers come out. Probably give it a few minutes. And this, they should auto-populate with the newest earning report right here. So we're going to wait for that. Then we have ROST. Where's ROST? Let me see if I can bring up ROST. It's obviously not a popular one because it's not on this list, right? Let me see if I can bring up ROST. So this says Q4 2025 call at 4:15 Eastern. What If they, I don't see any new like populated earnings yet here in this section, but they're looking for revenue of 5.95 billion, huge number on the revenue side, and then EPS they're looking for a positive $1.66 per share on the EPS earnings per share. Let's look at the revenue. It's kind of not as clean and sexy looking as the CrowdStrike bar chart here, but you can see it's been pretty positive going through the years as well. EPS 15 times out the 17 last quarters, they've beaten EPS too. So we got two strong companies here that could give us big swings in either direction. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, that's pretty funny there. Look, we got a nice dump in ROST, and then it just came all the way back to where it started. So I think it's just some volatility leading up to the release of these results. What do I have here? Stock buddy. What do I have on this? Let me get rid of the stock buddy here. Leave on the Maverick indicator just to see what it does. Right click, and then let me make sure. Share this information. Let me just restream this. Let me reshare this on my personal one as well. There we go. Let's share this one. So we're just going to sit here and watch for the reactions of both of them. Like I said, if you want to put pump or dump as a comment, let me know what you guys think about CrowdStrike, where it's going to go, and then also ROST stores, because retail is kind of getting hit pretty hard. Some retail names out there, consumer sentiments down a little bit and spending. So, you know, we got these retail stores getting hit pretty hard. But with ROST, you know, it's a discount store. When I kind of go in there or go by there, it's always popping. So busy in this store. Everyone likes to find, you know, the deals, right? So they go to ROST, dress for less, or they go to Marshalls or somewhere like that. So they're all, you know, intertwined. They're all, you know, owned by the same company. Corporation, should we say. So we're waiting for CrowdStrike. Yeah, pump it. Let's pump it. Right now it's flat. So we got right now there should be some kind of earnings being released right now for CrowdStrike. We're just flat right now, but it says 4:05. They're a minute late. Shame on them. And ROST, we're down about 2.9% so far. So negative reaction on ROST and just flat on CrowdStrike. We got to see some really big numbers for CrowdStrike to just get a nice big pop in this one. Tool is trying to be a part of this stream today. She's trying to come in. So ROST is down 4.4% negative reaction. Let's see if there's any updates on ROST's earnings. Let me refresh. Earnings. Nothing yet. Let's go back to CrowdStrike. Nothing yet on CrowdStrike either. Come on. Let's see if we find anything on X. Let's see if we got any. All right, let me go to see if I can find any CrowdStrike info on X. The latest, greatest. There's nothing yet. Nothing out for CrowdStrike yet. And a lot of these stocks, like if you look at CrowdStrike for the day, like a lot of these stocks bottomed out, right? Around this, like this area, like around 10 to 10:30. A lot of these stocks had that big sell-off initially and found a bottom around this time. Most of the stocks, unless there was obviously bad news related to that stock and maybe more downside, but the big names saw bottoms around like 10 to 10:30, and then kind of just grinded up all day long. And this is kind of what CrowdStrike did, right? From 370 all the way up to 396. That's a big move from the bottom of the day. So really good. Even if you could day trade this, that was a really solid move for a day trade perspective, right? From the bottom to the top, that's a $25 move. So that's a big move there. Same with Tesla, same with SPY. They all hit those bottoms around 10, 10:30 and gave us a clear, clean reversal for the rest of the day. CrowdStrike moving just a tad. Just a tad. Do you think DG and similar retails will go down on the ROST downturn? Also, ROST is trying to recover a little bit, so they're not all down and done yet. It's actually coming back. It's only 2% down. But I think they're all in different sectors. Dollar General is a whole different animal, right? I mean, I would imagine if consumer spending's down or, maybe unemployment goes up, then DG stores like that discounted store will probably do pretty well in those quarters. I would just keep track of it. If you're in that position, always have a plan for it. Buying more at support levels once we hold those support levels pretty well, or we break through resistance for that momentum. But I think Dollar General is really depends. That they're a whole different animal and a whole different earnings, and they haven't been doing so well lately. But they could definitely turn around that ship. I would probably just keep track of when their earnings and look into that. Wow, what a drop. Okay, let's see here. So we have CrowdStrike dropped on that wick low right there. That went down to 360. Let's zoom in a little bit here. We've got two levels to watch here. This candle's not closed, this 1 minute candle, but now it is closed. So I'll be looking at these levels down here for potential reversals from 370 or 360. So that wick low, maybe we can get a little quick trade out of that. But I'm going to look at the actual, let me put that right there, that wick low. Just keep track of that. Here, that's down 5% already. So we already lost pretty much what it gained throughout the day. It just took all that out. Let's have a look at CrowdStrike. Let me refresh this page. If we got anything here, I don't see anything here. Let me see. CrowdStrike earnings are out 1 minute ago. So the numbers are, and you probably have to get on the conference call to actually get more guidance information and like what they're seeing, trends they're seeing overall. But the EPS expected numbers was at 86 cents, right? But the number came in at $1.03. So they beat EPS around, what's that? Around 15, 16, 17 cents. Revenue expected number was that 1.04 billion. They came in at 1.059 billion, which is another beat on EPS. So they beat, and I can put these numbers here as well. Let me just share those numbers on all socials as well. Comment section. All right, let me just share this. CrowdStrike EPS. 103, beating expectations by 18 cents revenue came in at 1.59 billion, beating expectations as well. We share that and then put that on the screen as well. There we go. So I shared it on the screen. So EPS, yeah, EPS came in better than expected, and revenue. Now it's all the waiting game. We got that reaction, that big reaction with that information. But that could also turn around. I mean, if they have earnings, the actual conference call, and it's positive, and they're seeing some big numbers and growth in their overall business, then this could definitely flip around, and we can go green for the rest of the after hours. So if you really want to see more or want to hear more, jump onto their conference call. Let's see if it tells me a time for that. If they have a time. Conference call at 5 p.m. Eastern, it says right here. So you can jump on the conference call. You can go through their investor relations website for the CrowdStrike, and you can jump on that call, or you can go through Robinhood. You can go through different platforms nowadays that will have that automatic, button that you can click and listen in on the actual call without having to go searching. So you can definitely do that too. And then Ross is trying to make a recovery, down only 1.45% today. Let me see. Why couldn't SPS do that for me tonight? We also got, remember guys, we got, going into the after hours, we got also Donald Trump. I'm not even sure President Donald Trump's going to be speaking in Congress in a speech. So I would that's definitely going to move the market. Anything that he says nowadays moves the market. We can go into Forex Factory, where I kind of find all those that data information. And you can see here 9 p.m. tonight, President Trump speaks, and it's high impact. So whatever, as long as he doesn't say anything ridiculous and talks about more tariffs in Europe, or increasing tariffs or what have you. If he doesn't say things like that, I think the market may be fine overnight. But if he mentions anything negative, or like he just starts like blaming people, pointing fingers, or saying Ukraine's their dictators and blah blah blah, that's probably going to move the market down. I've taken two. I actually had 3 SPY put contracts. There were 5 78 contracts for 2 days expiration, so Thursday. I grabbed them in the Discord, and they were already up like, I think, 36% by the end of the day. We grabbed them maybe 20 minutes before close. I sold a couple of those, keeping 1 overnight, or 2 overnight, sorry. And I'm just looking for something, ridiculous that he says in the actual press conference, that big speech, and then just bring down the market a little bit more for us to take advantage of that overnight and make some more money on those put side. Yes. Yeah, TNT in the Discord, he always says something ridiculous. Like, it may, like, he's very smart, but he says things that just at the wrong times. I feel like they just need to mute the whole administration needs to be muted. Like, let's just mute them for a week. Let the market just play out for a little bit without any nonsense. Mute for 4 years. That's funny. That's hilarious. So CrowdStrike still negative, down 6.45%. I think there's still going to be a good discount on this one. If it does decide to hold to the downside, then we can just zoom out and look for areas of support that maybe we can see some buyers pick it up from that level. Let me see what we can find. This is 2021 highs, probably going to come into the whole picture. Let's see where that lines up here. That lines up pretty well. We saw some solid reaction off this area as resistance here, as support here. So this is actually a better solid line than the ones above. But I like this. I mean, if say CrowdStrike just continues to sell off for a couple of days, maybe it just has really bad reaction and investors don't like what is said in the call, then I'd be looking at maybe this to play out. I mean, it's low, right? But I mean, if it gets real nasty, which we've seen a lot of stocks get nasty after earnings, this could definitely get a haircut to 300. And then if 300, like 285 to 300 doesn't hold in this box here, and this is where swing trading comes into it, because we can take advantage of these discounts if they're still a strong company, they're still showing strong numbers, but we can just look at lower levels, support levels on the weekly, on the monthly, on the daily, and we can once we start seeing some buyers pick up from these levels, we can then start grabbing some of our shares there and pick up some of those solid discounts. So this would be an area if it decides to sell off for a couple of days. Definitely an area to watch. I just, right now we're down here, right? So we're down to this line right here. If we just do this, for a couple of days, maybe a week or so, look for this area to be retested and we see some strong buying coming in here. Then once we push off that level, that's when we look to buy, not just on the retest, because we could retest this and fall right through and then you bought a position prematurely. So I would wait for a reaction off this level, see some buying push off, then buy into that strength off that level. If it falls right through, then 300, below 300 is on deck, maybe 250, 240, 250 could be a level to watch. Right here, even between these two, 240 and 260. Not sure if we're going to get there, but we could if it gets real nasty. So downside levels, if we don't hold and start pushing up from here, look for maybe the next couple of days to come trickle down to around that $300 level and then see the reaction off there to either buy or continuation to the downside to play more downside. All right. Yeah, so I mean, it's volatile. It's volatile times, guys. Big volatile times out there, but we're all here to help each other do well and guide each other through this volatile times and make money. You can make money upside, downside. It should just all about seeing the trend, seeing the volume follow through for, if it's upside, reversals play into that strength. If it's more downside, just continue to play the downside. Not worth fighting the actual overall trend, right? Not worth guessing the bottom. So let's zoom in on CrowdStrike here. At least it hasn't retested this low so far, 360. It got that wick low and then we got pop up. And then we're trying to react off that and not retesting it. So it's showing some strength on CrowdStrike. It's not all, sell off here. Let's do a fib retracement from top to bottom. Let's get rid of the order blocks area. So upside, you can literally probably scalp this above 369, and you can aim for 373 to 377 would be a good level to scalp from. So once we get above this level here, get off the magnet. Once we get above this level, our risk will be once, this candle low pretty much. So once we get above this 369, take an entry, and then target wise, max target, I'll look for maybe 377 to maybe 380 up here. And then your stop loss will pretty much be at that wick low of that candle. So you're risking about 1%, your target's around 2 to 3%. So that's not such a bad risk to reward if you're just trying to scalp something like this. Momentum trying to come back into this name as well. It just hit 373. What else? Can't believe it's only been 1.5 months. Feels like 4 years. Yeah, right? It really does. This administration's talked about 4 years worth of conversation the previous administration did in about a week or two. Like, it's just insane. Let me get rid of that line right there. Oops. Hit the wrong one. Come on. Okay. Up here. And this ribbon here that you can see a clear rejection of this red ribbon, this is an indicator I made. It's the Maverick strategy indicator based on my coaching that I teach in the Discord, swing trading coaching. You can also use it for day trading on the smaller time frames, but on the swing trades, the daily, the weekly is when it's most effective to buy in with these buy and sell signals. But you can see we got rejection right as we hit that bottom of the red ribbon. So it's not going to be positive until we get above this red ribbon. That's when we're going to start seeing momentum to the upside, likely to hit 381, 382. Once we get above this level, it look more positive. Right now, it's just hovering right on the bottom of it. So it's really negative still until we start seeing some moves above the ribbon. ROST looks like it's about to go green. It was green for a second. It's minimally, it's just, it's going green right now. It's up about 12 cents. So it's moving to the upside a little bit. Yeah, exhausting. Yeah, reading through the news. God, I need just a chat GPT to give me like the news every hour. Something changes. Let's have, oh, you know what? Let me go. I missed out on Ross's earnings. Let me see if that was updated. Let's see. See if they updated. Yeah, so they updated it. So they came in a little bit lower on the revenue. So they missed it by 0.64%. That's really nothing. But the EPS came in higher than expected. Earnings per share came in 7.8% higher. And they do have call right now. If you want to jump on their call, hop on, see what they have to say about their guidance. Definitely going to help you as a trader know kind of what they're tackling, what's going to go on, and what they're expecting for the next couple of quarters. So I definitely think about jumping on those calls. I'm going to be here just for a couple more minutes, guys, and I'm going to jump off. But overall negative reaction with CrowdStrike. But every reaction that's been negative is a buying opportunity. Just let it ride out the selling, and then once we see some pick up on that on the buy side, then you can grab some cheap shares if it decides to keep falling for the next couple of days. But normally those big dips for CrowdStrike, especially in their business, security, cybersecurity, things like that, is a really hot sector right now in the world. So any big dips you see in this company, I think it's worth grabbing them. It's just waiting for it to kind of just bottom out and hold some levels and then grab into that momentum on the reversal. Ross flat, right? It's not much really going on with Ross, but at least it recovered from 128 to 135. What else had earnings today? Oh God, ChargePoint had earnings today too. ChargePoint. EPS beat 6 times in the 17 quarters. That's terrible. But looks like it's up a little bit. Man, ChargePoint got smashed, huh? ChargePoint used to be up like $4, $5, $6. Now it's all the way down under $1. That company got smashed. My Lord. Look at that chart. Oh, That chart used to be much higher. Wow, this stock used to be 2022 up in the 20s, upper teens. Now it's all the way down here at 66 cents. My lord, this company got smashed to pieces. Downgrades. I feel sad for these companies. Oh yeah, it just got worse. Their net margins got worse. Look at that over time. So bad. God help them. Go to the hourly on SPY. See, the hourly with my Maverick indicator is still negative. So we've been negative since Monday at 1 p.m. on the hourly chart for SPY. So under 590 is when we turn negative for SPY. And we did try to recoup some today, but it closed ultimately still red negative, and it's still showing a downtrend. So it's not green yet. So it's still looking like, okay, every pop that we see, there's still some strong met with some strong selling up here. So more downside may come into play tomorrow, but all look at that 571, I believe 570, 571 on SPY. And that's a very strong point that we have to look at on the daily. At the SMA 200 is around 571. Let me see if I can bring that up. Let's go to the length. Let's change the length. Maybe pop that on the blue, maybe a purple. Put that. Stick that on our chart. So you can see we're coming pretty close on the daily chart on SPY. We're coming very close to this SMA 200. It's going to be a very strong level that we need to see hold, even if it decides to retrace down tomorrow again. And today we actually held that level. Let's say it comes down tomorrow and retest it. If we lose that level, we haven't lost that level for some time, right? And we only lost it pretty short term down here in 2023 in October. So we've been above it for a long time. So that would be pretty bearish if we lose that level. But we could definitely see a good buying opportunity if we lose it and then we start recovering back above it, like this time in October. So SPY 570, 571 is the level to see for the bulls. They need to definitely see a hold. If this is a dip buy opportunity, they need to see that hold. If the bears are looking for more blood, they want to see that loss of this purple line. And then we may start seeing 560s, we may start seeing 540s before we hit that bottom, maybe right here or right here. And if we see some buying off these levels, once we meet them down here, right? We see some buying off those levels, then that could be your opportunity to buy that huge dip that we saw in SPY to maybe play this for a couple of weeks to the upside reversal. So definitely look at that. Keep that pinned on your chart, the 571, 570. That is the SMA 200. And just keep track of that. On the RSI, we're pretty oversold. Last time we kind of bounced from that 30 bottom of the RSI on the daily. So all eyes on that 30 level on SPY as well for a bounce play. So I hope that helped you a little bit on S&P SPY. I'm gonna jump on out of here. Nothing going on with CrowdStrike's flat, pulling back to retest those 360s. Conference call at 5 p.m. So if you want to hear about their guidance or their growth potential for the next couple of quarters, jump on that call. You're definitely going to hear a lot more about it there. And then ROST Dress for Less. It's green. We've got one green stock for today. Also green, recovered pretty well. Recovered about $7 from that low of after hours. That was a very nice quick move back to where it was in the first place. Anyways, I'm gonna jump off, guys. Jump in the Discord. They're going to be live trading tomorrow. Actually, it's Wednesday, so I'm going to be live trading at 9:30. We're going to be trading the watch list, the daily watch list that I post online. So tomorrow is the opportunity for premium members to jump on, actually live trade those stocks with me. And then I have an extended stream that goes on from the watch list to swing trading. So we're going to be pretty action packed tomorrow. So I hope to see you guys in the premium side. Other than that, have a great night, guys, and I'll see you later on at 9 p.m. when Trump gives us the big speech. Okay, bye, guys.